tonight, Alan Foley.
He does. I mean, Lewis has come out looking quite relaxed, actually. Yeah, down to work straight away, looking impressive.
Well, I do know Lawrence, he's a tough, awkward customer, and a fair degree of power about him as well, but it all, of course, remains to be seen. Who lands with what?
Exactly, as I say, Lawrence Lofts is a very, very tough boy. He'll take everything that Lewis Pinto throws at him and well, hopefully come back.
To a degree, Alan. Gets right up the top there from Pinto.
Yeah, working nicely sort of body and head there, Lewis.
Very popular man, Lewis Pinto.
He is. He brings a good crowd with him always.
And you can see why, you know, he's a real handful, isn't he? He can do it both ways round here, right or left hand forward.
Yeah, he's looking good at the moment. As I say, he's working to the head, he's working to the body. Lawrence is a little bit bemused at the moment.
Referee for this contest is Seamus Dunn, from a decent amateur boxer.
Right, Lewis has got on his left eye, he's got cut.
Oh, now that must have been a clash of heads. That must have been a clash of heads. That's right on the eyelid, and that looks bad. It's going to take him out, Alan. Oh, what a terrible break here for Lewis Pinto. Cuts on the left eyebrow, I believe. From a clash of heads, accidental.
Yeah, Lewis is sort of, he's gone into a bit of panic mode now. I think he's seen the blood, he knows what could happen, so hopefully he's not going to lose his head too much.
But Lawrence, of course, has got an extra target now.
Stop boxing!
I'm an advocate, Alan Foley, of, you know, if there's an accidental injury occurs in the first round, it should be declared a no contest.
Well, in the Queensberry rules, this will be declared a no contest if Lewis can't continue.
Well, I'm glad we got the governor here to let me know that, because Dr. Bart now is having a look at this, and he may well decide that enough is enough.
I think referee Seamus Dunn there talking to the ringside doctor. I think they're both saying that he can go on.
I think you're right.
Well, we've got to get moving, right?
And what if we go to the second round?
After the second round, it'll go to points.
Well, there's the first round over. Lovely left hook there from Pinto to finish the first. And he's won the opening round. So here we are then, round two. Well, there's no doubt about the winner of the opening round. It was Lewis Pinto, but let's see how he gets on here, because if this is a good round for Lofts, then the title, of course, will remain with Pinto, because it'll be a round apiece.
Exactly.
Hook there from Lofts. Awkward name to say, by the way. Yes, he's a tough, uncompromising sort, isn't he, Lawrence?
He is. Lewis is working well, though. He's rolling it nicely and then catching Lawrence with a nice right hook. Oh, lovely shot.
Oh, lovely right there from Lofts.
That snapped Lewis's head back there.
He walked straight through it. Well, the cut's been kept under control. Paulie's done a decent job with that, I think, Alan.
He's done a good job. Lewis needs to keep his hands up on the ropes there. He's trying to ride the punches, but Lawrence going to come over the top there and caught him with a lovely shot.
And the corner, of course, could have pulled him out at the end of that opening session because of the cut, and still retained the title with a no contest.
Oh, good shot. Lovely left hook by Lewis Pinto there. Just got to watch the heads. I've got to say, with Lewis's style, though, I would say he's prone to getting cut because he just comes in so quickly.
Yeah, just bulldozes his opponents, doesn't he?
Oh, lovely shot.
We were right about Lofts being an uncompromising, tough character. And one thing I can say about Lewis, he's always fit, isn't he?
He is, always.
Is there a cut on the right eye now? On the right eyebrow. Well, he's been a thing for Lawrence. I have a horrible feeling that Pinto may be nicked over the right eye as well. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. The blood running down the side of his face. Two cuts now. Well, Alan Foley, we have got 2 cuts now sustained by Lewis Pinto to both eyes, both by the look of things due to accidental clashes of heads. You know, you said earlier, of course, about the style of Pinto. You know, he's made for this kind of injury, isn't he?
He is, Steve. I mean, when you look at the way Lewis Pinto fights, he starts off, you know, throwing his jab out, looking sort of comfortable, but he just seems to have this sort of
instinct to fight.
He does. The red mist comes down, and he wants to get involved where he can make it so much easier for himself.
And they're working that lofts corner, by the way. We've got Wayne Alexander, former world lightweight champion, and Brian Gentry, an old friend of mine as well. Now, if anyone could pull lofts through, it's those two. But of course, he's up against a real handful here in Lewis Pinto. Oops, so easy. Well, that's just a slip by the pair of them, a slip and a trip.
All right, over there. Just get through, like, just go right. Just as what he does.
Yeah, we're not looking for a submission.
No. Right? Right? Box on.
Well, one thing I'm particularly pleased about is that it hasn't seemed to bother Pinto psychologically, Alan, the fact that he's damaged over both eyes.
No, and I'll tell you what, Steve, it would have been nice if he hadn't sustained those injuries because he's boxing really, really well.
And it hasn't affected his form, has it?
Step back. What he comes through. Time out. Over there.
I think they've got the gum shield there, Alan.
It's one of those things you just find that hard to believe.
Pick him up.
Well, here he goes now. 2 hands. Flailing away with both hands here. And he's hurting with a big left hook.
Yeah, lovely combination. Do you know what I was about to say there, Steve? Lewis Pinto, on that exchange, he could have worked the body, worked the head, and then he moved out of range again, but he sometimes stays in the pocket a little bit too long, and then that's where he gets caught.
I fully agree with you. Well, Lofts was offended by that. And, you know, I said earlier, Alan, this is the kind of fight I came to see.
Oh.
And this is the kind of fight I fully expected.
Well, this is, like we said before, Steve, with the Queensberry Boxing League, it's all about 50-50 matches, putting on good contests where, you know, you're going to get this type of up and down affair.
Absolutely. You do get, of course, the occasional cracking knockout. So this is round 4. Round 4. So the cut and scathed Lewis Pinto in action here against Lawrence Lofts for the cracking fight.
Yeah, Lawrence catching Lewis there with actually a nice shot on the counter.
Yeah, but a mandatory count against Lofts in round 3. As the blood once again begins to flow to that left eye.
Oh, lovely shot.
Lovely left hook. Pinto now absolutely flying here. He's a whirlwind.
Oh, lovely. Lawrence he's taken some massive shots there.
Well, we did say he's a tough guy.
Yeah, but you don't want to see him taking too much punishment.
No, can't be too brave for his own good. This is
beautiful, beautiful shot from Lewis Pinto there.
This is Pinto in great form.
Over there. One.
Well, second mandatory count here against Lofts now. Pressure there from Pinto, really mounting up.
Steve, in the manner there, Lawrence was taking the punches, but when referee shot was done separate, it looked like Lewis has been the one taking the hits there.
Absolutely right.
Oh.
Here it goes again. It's been a war, this, isn't it?
Definitely, 100% war. Now, Lewis being snapped back there as well, so Lawrence is still in this, you know?
Well, this is the kind of thing I've come to expect from the Queensberry Boxing League. Cracking jab there, lovely shot.
Lovely snap Lofts' head right back.
It's a good job he's a tough guy.
Time out, over there.
Well, that could have been a low blow.
Come on, you want to box on? Come on.
Obviously not.
Yeah, I think, funnily enough, I think Lewis is feeling the pace here. I mean, you know, it's been non-stop. Oh.
Good right hand there from Lofts. Left hook as well. And It's all the round's over. Well, his wishes come true as we come out now for the 5th and final round. Nice jab there from Pinto to start the round.
Yeah, I could hear Lewis's corner there, Paulie Stevens saying, just, you know, cover up, don't do anything stupid, you've won the fight, you know, just don't get involved. He obviously didn't listen.
No, he can't resist it, can he? Oh, lovely big right there from Lofts. And he's going for it now, Lawrence.
Lewis definitely needs to keep his hands up, Steve.
But he's loving it, Alan.
He does. I mean, he's a warrior, Lewis. You've got to give it to him. He's not there to sort of run and hide. He's there to get stuck in.
Yeah, my kind of fighter. A bit like Ross.
Yeah, I think Ross was unlucky with his career, injuries, and
absolutely,
you know, a little bit of inactivity, or I think he would have gone a lot further.
I couldn't agree more.
Still, he was a Southern Area and an English welterweight champion, so
he was,
and challenged Michael James for the WBU belt.
Nice big fight there again from Pinto. It's thoroughly exciting, this, isn't it? What a great chief supporting contest.
Definitely, it is entertaining. That is beyond doubt.
And that's why these good people are here. Got a great deal of science about what Lewis does, but my goodness me, it's exciting.
You know, I've got to say to Lewis Pinto, I'm impressed. Maybe not so much for sort of the action over the last round, but the fact that he has hit Lawrence with some huge shots, and Lawrence is still there, and that can really dishearten. You know, when you know you've connected with a great shot, and there's just still standing there, it's like, what do I have to do to get this fella out of there?
Yeah, and then your opponent says, is that the best you can do? Well, the gunshot's gone. Well, I mean, full marks to Lawrence Lofts. I mean, if it wasn't for the fact that he's such a tough guy, this fight would have been over.
Definitely. I mean, you know, a lesser man would have just sort of thought, you know, oh, a fantastic fight.
Absolutely right. Great win there. Surely. For the man from...
I would have to say, I mean, I can't see it going the other way, but, you know, stranger things have happened.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have a unanimous decision. Your winner, and still...
There you go, Lewis Pinto, still the British Welterweight champion.
Lewis, the Pitbull Pinto!
And he was every inch of Pitbull tonight, Alan.
He certainly was, and I think, you know, I think he's going to move on from that, and he's going to learn from that fight.
I think you're right. But hats off once again to Lawrence Lofts, who did fight with a great deal of spirit. Well done, Lawrence, but congratulations.
Well, what a fight that was. Lewis, congratulations. I know probably the last person what you want to do now is have an interview after 5 rounds of that intensity.
Yeah, well, I just relied on my power too much. I didn't train for it, and then 2 weeks training because of my injuries, but win's a win at the end of the day. I nasty cut at the start of the fight. I have to say, I only had 3 weeks training for it, and thank the girlfriend for cooking me so much nice meals and that. Get my weight down, and thanks to Paul Stevens, the trainer. Last one is going to Australia, so I've been working the last couple of weeks, so yeah, thanks very much. It's Tony Owen and that.
You kept hold of your bout, and it was well deserved, and these sellout crowds, I think, got to see the fight of the evening.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you very much.
Well, I spoke to Lawrence, last thing I'll say to you before you go off, I spoke to him beforehand, and he was saying he's been watching your career, and he's in awe of you, but he put in a good fight.
Yeah, very respect to him. He's been training really hard. Like, he lives in the same area with me. I see him running every day. Should have spurred me on to train harder, really, but fair play to him. He come with a really good game and really good fight. He done well. Take my hat off to him. A lot of respect to that man. Done really well. It's a shame I got cut with his head in the first round. I adapted a lot of my energy because I couldn't see. The blood and Vaseline in my eye, but yeah.
Well,
win the win at the end of the day.
You're wearing the belt, so congratulations.
Thank you very much. See you.